With me is Field Marshal Sarath Fonseka, who of course has been wearing the hat of a politician for almost a decade now. So welcome to WION. Thanks for joining from Colombo. Let me start with what's happening right now in Sri Lanka. There are reports that the party SJB plans to expel you. If you can talk about it, are these rumors true or these are false? If you can just talk about it.
The situation here right now, as you know, we had a very bad period, especially concerning the economy. And everybody knows country is indebted, bankrupt, unable to pay the loans, foreign and local. And a lot of taxes had to come in as an outcome of IMF regulations, etc. So people are going through a very difficult period because the income of the people has not moved up, but the expenditure is very high. As it is, we can see a lot of the businesses have collapsed and a lot of unemployment. So going through a very bad period generally.
I was asking a different question about the party you are from. The SJB plans to expel you. There are reports in the Sri Lankan media. If you can talk about that.
Yeah, the party actually, the party functions well, but I had personally certain issues which I had to confront, and I tried to settle them amicably. This was especially regarding taking some people into the party. And the same people were last couple of years, not couple of years, maybe 5-6 years. They were the people, the privileged people with the government party, the ruling party at the moment, our opponents. So recent time they have started joining the party, couple of them. And there was a retired army commander whom I thought his reputation, his activities after he left the army and also when he was in the army were not acceptable, not as per the military discipline, not as per the aspirations of the people who was taken in. So I had to voice my opinion, which are not acceptable to some people in the party. And some people thought when I voiced my opinion, I was trying to violate the party discipline or the party code of conduct. So this matter is still unsettled basically. And finally, it had taken me to courts. And still there are discussions going on behind the scene. And hopefully, I have promised the people in this country, I will never let the party down. I'll never let the party supporters down. And I will ensure that because they voted for me, last election, 113,000 people voted for me. So I have promised them that I will ensure that their aspirations are taken care of by me. And that is the most important thing which for me, keeping that in the back of my mind, I'll see how I can go through this period.
So, sir, are you staying in the party or are you leaving the party?
I am in the party, as I explained to you right now.
Okay.
I don't want to abandon my supporters. I don't want to abandon basically the party principles. Because we work very hard to establish this party. This does not belong to any individual or any particular group of people. It belongs to all the party supporters and also the organizers at various levels. Therefore, I will ensure that I continue with the party. My political principles have not changed. I still stick to same principles. So I am trying my best to stay in the party.
Any fallout with Sajith Premadasa, and there are also reports emerging that you plan to join the government?
No, I don't think things have gone that far. Joining the government is out of question for me at the moment. Who will want to jump into a sinking ship? But my relationship with Sajith Premadasa, he is my leader. Even up to now, I am his number 2 so far in the party. So we never had any personal confrontations. As I explained earlier, the whole issue started with the event which took place, and Sajid Premadasa, he has to exhibit his leadership qualities and ensure that he handle issues professionally. And I am ready to cooperate with him as far as our the targets, our goals are not still remains unchanged. Then there is no reason for me to think of shifting my political agendas.
Sir, Sri Lanka goes to elections later this year. You plan to stand. What will be your strategy?
Yeah, we are hoping basically all the people in our country, they are hoping that elections will take place on time. As per the constitution, the presidential election has to come towards end of this year. Then the general election next year is our national elections. So finally, the ball is in President's court. He has to take final decisions on these issues in addition to the commitment of the Election Commission. So I think from what we hear right now, the type of news we hear indicates that the presidential election will come end of the year. In fact, I think all of the people expecting is the election to come at the proper time, the due time. So therefore, if the presidential election comes within this year, toward the end of the year, and the general election follows next year, everybody will be happy. And I don't think there is any reason for us to rush, because our country is still going through a bad period. Country has not settled down still, but the elections is a must. Nobody will agree in case somebody thinks of postponing elections. So there are talks about referendums and various other issues. But all what we want at the moment is to go through the elections, conduct the elections as per the constitution.
And what will be your strategy in terms of the elections? What are you looking at? Your party strategy and your strategy both?
The party at the moment working on their normal political activities, and party is preparing itself, I think, to face whatever comes first, whether it's presidential election or general election. And I do my part. I am contesting from a particular district, and I have electorate. So my interest at the moment is concerning my voters' aspirations in their district. At the same time, I have come to politics at national level. So there is some recognition and acceptance as regard to me at national level. So there are various people who have different opinions, different ideas about where I should stand actually. I am not talking about the party differences. So, but I am ready, as the same way I gave the leadership some times ago to rescue the country from a very bad situation, fighting with the terrorism and all that, bringing an end to the war and bringing peace to the country. So my intention, my aspiration is to ensure that this country get out of the predicament, and I can contribute towards that. Wherever the people expect me to stand, wherever the people are hoping to stand, and whatever the stance the people expect me to take, I'll be taking, giving due respect to the people, finally, who are affected with the elections, finally, who are the people of this, owners of this country. It is not the politicians who are owners of this country, so the future of the country will have to be decided by the people. If the people give an indication to me about what they're expecting from me in the future, I will not let them down.
Essentially, when you look at the elections, are you also looking at some coalition partners? Are you in touch domestically with other parties that in case you get the chance to be in the government, you can talk to other parties?
I think what is best for the country And what the people are asking right now is a system change. That is where we could see a lot of people on streets, and there was a struggle in the country which took place. It went to extremes, and ending up by chasing out the president who was there at that time. So we have to, whatever we do, we have to keep that in mind. And if we can meet up with the people's requirement by way of system change, and try to, rather than making coalitions with whoever who comes your way, just trying to get additional heads by getting into any agreements or any alliances with anybody, whether they are corrupt or whether they are responsible for ruining the country, or whether their history is not very good, bad record, their track record. But we have to be concerned about all that. Then, if we want to do clean politics, and if we want to go in line with the type of system change what the people are asking for, if there are people who are ready, who will be acceptable to the people, we are ready to go into coalition with them. But otherwise, I don't believe in getting anybody who wants to come and land here, because wherever they were standing earlier, those camps have failed, those parties have collapsed. Therefore, it should not be the case we are accommodating anybody who is coming our way. But of course, give the priority, keep in mind the exact requirement of the country at the moment.
Sir, moving a bit to externally in the region, now India is a country with which Sri Lanka shares close relationship. What's your view about India and India's support during the economic crisis in your country? India provided a bailout of almost $4 billion.
Yes, I think everybody is indebted to India for that purpose. And basically, everybody was very happy. We appreciate the colossal assistance given to us, actually at the hour of need. And I think it helped us a large way to overcome most of the issues, the difficulties, the crisis what we are facing. So we are we must be thankful to you all. We are very grateful. At the moment, on the other hand, I think on principle, we should maintain a very cordial relationship with India, whatever happens. And we have to ensure that there is peace in this region, there is security in the region. And India being the regional power, we have to recognize them, and we should know how to deal with India. Mainly, we should not try to upset the security sentiments of the India. And India is gradually becoming a huge economic power in the region. So, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Continue, sir. Continue.
So, as it is, we are very happy the way India is progressing forward. So, we being a small nation here, we know that we can benefit in a large way with our relationship with India. It's a case of give and take. It's not try to just get only and ensure that we loot whatever which comes our way, but we should be doing it in good faith, and obviously without upsetting the security sentiments and regional security, and especially our ties and bonds with the neighbors in the region. So I think as it is, things are good. We're looking forward to maintain same strong relationship.
On the implementation of the 13th Amendment, this is something that has been part of the conversation in Sri Lanka. Countries like India have also been talking about it. What's your plan? Just, I mean, crystal gazing, if you become part of the government whenever the elections happen, how do you plan to implement the 13th Amendment?
This has been a talking point for a long time, from the time it was introduced to this country, 13th Amendment. And of course, the functioning of the provincial councils, a lot of people had a lot of questions, whether it was really required, whether we have benefited out of that, whether it is politically or administratively. At the same time, whether it is a white elephant, can you afford to have it, being a very small country? But I think the final intention should be to ensure that all the communities in the country has to be satisfied with the recognition they get and the place where we have kept them. There should be communal harmony, the religious harmony, all that. We must live like one family. But as it is, the Provincial Council we haven't had for last 5 years. So, but still everything has run smoothly. And also it has been reported somewhere I saw, basically the financial allocation given to Provincial Council, 85% of it is spent on recurrent expenditure to maintain the Provincial Councils. Only very little benefited by the people. So therefore, I think we must not try to allow it to escalate up to a political issue, to become a political question, political burden, and which will disturb the communal harmony and our relationship with various communities here. But administratively, I think if we can ensure that the provincial administration is taken care of, so that it can help the people, whatever the way they want. Maybe certain things could be decentralized, and you have to again, I think, do a constructive study on this whole issue, and among all the people, all the stakeholders, and ensure that we do the right thing without doing injustice to anybody.
So that's a pretty long answer, but in short, if I can understand, are you for the implementation of the 13th Amendment, or you looking at other avenues?
When it comes to 13th Amendment, there have been certain areas which are questionable, because we have to ensure when we implement anything, it must be acceptable to all the people in the country. Otherwise, there will be suspicion, there will be the enemies, the animosity is created, so we can't allow that to happen. We must study it very carefully and ensure that all the people in the north, south, and the east, everybody is happy with what the final outcome. So as it is, there have been certain questions spoken at various places, various forums. So we have to ensure that we come to some amicable solution at some stage. We can't jump the gun, we can't rush into this.
So my final question to you is on a question with which we essentially started. You started by answering it about the economic situation in your country. Now, whatever said and done, it's not as bad as it was almost a year ago. Do you see the green shoots of recovery in Sri Lanka now becoming big trees of stability?
Yes, you are referring to the type of assistance you are giving at the moment. Am I correct?
I am referring to the current economic situation in Sri Lanka. Are the green shoots of recovery now becoming trees of stability?
Yes, I think we have only very few options. Still, the major issues, I don't think we have been able to settle, like how to pay the loans and living conditions of the people, like things like per capita income and cost of living and all those things. We hear from the government, part of the government at times, a long-term plan. But whatever we try to do, we have to ensure that the people can, there is a limit where people can go through the suffering. The situation is not good, because as it is, I think about 70% or more in the country are directly affected with this. Some people find difficult to meet their day-to-day expenditure and the requirement. So we have still a long way to go. But as it is, I think everybody is hoping for the best. Everybody is trying to see some sort of solution coming to these issues. Nobody is pessimistic or the negative about the whole thing. But just being optimistic will not do. We have to practically ensure understanding the situation about the foreign exchange, about the living conditions, about the loans, the money borrowed. We have to start thinking seriously about how to address these issues.
Well, thank you so much, sir, for speaking to Vion from Colombo on several issues, whether it is the political situation, your plans ahead of the elections, India's support, or whether it is the larger stability of your very beautiful country. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.